Hello, Katja here for the Finnabair team. This time I will do a dream catcher from one of these embroidery frames. And now I'm picking like a crochet uh, thing buy on a flea market. And I want what's inside not to be seen. That's why I was picked this green one. And I want it smaller, so I cut it. And I want to, you can put it in the frame, but I want to like sew it. So I have like a little bit more thick thread, and I start to sew it to the frame so it like leaves some gaps. A little bit tricky in the beginning before it will go. And of course, you can find another ways, another ideas how to do. But you can also sew in the same technique that, like I do, like sewing a web inside this embroidery frame, and can have a gorgeous pattern. But right now I pick this like for the table, something in the crochet. I hope you will like this video, and please give the thumbs up if you like, and share it with your friends, and subscribe on the channel by clicking on the bell button. It helps the channel. Otherwise, let me know with your comment what you think, and how I can improve the videos, or if you have something else you want me to show. You see, when it starts to stick better, it's more easy to sew it, and it's not so many stitches I need to do. But anyway, I like this way to add it because it leaves like a gap. And I like the idea with the dream catchers. Okay, we have fixed it. Now I will show you almost all the molds that I will use. So this was the pieces of the underworld. And here we have the love machine, and you see I have some screw heads and some gears. I picked from different ones: Steampunk's heart, makeup moth, yes, and from the mold Amun and Bast I have these gorgeous wings and the bull's head. Clock faces, I will have a clock on my frame, and I also have a lot of keys and locks from the mold locks and keys. So pocket watches, did you catch them all? Don't worry, it will be full supplies list on Finnabair's blog. And here I try to plan on the composition. So I'm doing some marks, and I have some paper clay. It's really soft clay, and I will like have the pearl string, and I'm using my finger and pull off. And if the clay is like sticky one, it can be tricky to leave the frame. But you see, I'm pulling it out, and this attempt did work very well. So you can see where I want to add it. I want to add it on the frame, and where the composition will be, I don't need them. I do the same, but I was heated a little bit too much, so it's get broken. But I will use them. Everything what you do, you can use on some way. So the dots are there, but I will use them. I will glue them, so it works really fine. But be careful, and you can have like some oil or some anything can help leave it from the mold. Try, because it's a different with different kinds of paper clay. Okay, it's time to glue, and this time I have the 3D matte gel. You can use the 3D matte gel or the gloss 3D gloss gel or heavy body gel, but it works fine. So I'm gluing my composition, and these gorgeous, gorgeous big wings will be down on the composition. I always try to do the more heavy downstairs. And like I do, I improvise. And I do. And sometimes when you improvise, if you do it again, you perhaps do it in a different order. And that's okay. So I'm adding these small bead strings, and yeah, that's beautiful. And now I will add the small pieces. I could have like tweezers to easily add them, but sometimes I'm like lazy. Yeah. And it works fine with my fingers. So I'm gluing the gears to have everything on the place. So having the composition that I like. So underneath this bull's head and beside the wings, I will like add. And even on the back side of the wings, I will have something popping in. And if it will not stick so well, my tip is to use the glue gun. Glue gun and gel, because the glue gun, it glues instant, and if you use the gel, it dries softly. So if you want to have some help, use a glue gun. I prefer gels because they move around and you can change it and to do some details a little bit different. If you're not used to gels or mediums, it can be like hard, everything moves around. And these molds, Anna Finnabair, she have used every gap of the molds to find some pieces here and there, some like small, and that's why I have picked these gears and screw heads from the latest molds. That's why I have some pieces from one and some pieces from another one. So I try to use some of the favorites. When it have some of the gel is outside, I take like a clear brush to pull it off. Now I will add texture. If I do this project once more, I should have added the texture at the first before I start. It have been much more easy. But around the frame, I want like a little bit texture, not so heavy because it will be too busy project, but some texture, I find it goes. When everything is dry, my composition have been drying, and now I will paint everything with a black heavy gesso. And I will do it on the both side and also my frame. And be sure to use paint it like 2 or 3 times so there will not be white spaces, and I'm doing them on both sides. Now it's time for the gesso again. I will use the white gesso, and I'm sure to having a flat brush, it helps, and not having too much. I love this dry brushing technique. It's so give like an instant effect. Here it's because I want to add some color on the project. So I go over with the white heavy gesso, and I go more heavy on the wings and on the bulls, and on the frame and on the net in the background I'm more light-handed. But you can go over this in some layers, because when the gesso dries it gets more soft. Now it's time for coloring, and my background color will be the burnt sienna. And I'm spraying my water with the water and then picking the color, and I paint a little bit here and there. It will give like a shadow effect, but also my bubbles face will be, and the frame, and some of the we call it the embroidery, no, the crochet in the background. It's like a sun in the background, and it's a dream catcher, so it will be nice. I really like that. Now I'm adding some jello to give a little bit more contrast, and spraying some water. If you have too much color, you can wipe it off before it's dry, or spraying more water. Now it's time to carmine, and it's give like an orange red effect, also like a little bit rusty, but that was not my intention, but it gives like colors that goes well together, uh, and no one of them pop up like an extra color. If you like to do that, I was adding like tealish color or something like that, emerald or something like that, to make everything pop. Here I have mixed some liquid color fluid medium and some of the I mixed, so sorry, and mica powder from there are many sets mica powder. I have like one more warmth color and one more soft color with the fluid medium, so it will be like a paint. And I really paint them really not perfect at all. And I was also adding on my frame a little bit. So sorry for that, but my camera was out of connection on some way. Okay, everything is dry, and here I have my embellishments, and now it's time for wax. I have pearl white and vintage gold. I love this combination. The pearl white, it's like white highlight, and it gives almost like a silvery tone, but also white. So you imagine like pearl white. It's absolutely stunning. Not too much, but the places where I want to highlight. And this is like some of the places I want to be more like golden shade. So the vintage gold is perfect. And now I really, without intention, I take my keys, my small bull's head, and gears, and adding pearl white and vintage gold on the both sides, and without any plan. I now have my embellishments, and here I pick some metallics. I have the succulents, I pick a flower from that kit, yeah, even more. And I have also picked from the metal blooms. a flower. So I have some metal embellishments, and I have different kinds of thread, or you can have yarn, whatever you have, and I will cut them in different lengths. Try to not have them all the same. And I'm doing it little bit randomly. I take this string and add the keys on the end, and yeah, so a lot of keys to choose in your dreams before you go like that. You have like the keyholes on the bull's head. So it's like a symbolic theme here with the keys, because you have like many different way to go in your dream. So I make it like a symbolic with the keys. So different kind of ribbons, and I'm choosing like the warmth gold and some black threads and yarns to give a little bit more interest to my project. Okay, I also have some black feathers, and I will glue my feathers with the glue gun. This you can add them on different ways. You can add mediums, but here I was a little bit impatient. You can also add in pearls, or you can sew them. But here I hide my glue gun with them embellishments, both the molds and also the metallics. So be careful if you use a glue gun. I was burning my fingers a bit, so I'm trying that they will fall down a bit, and I will use all the embellishments. So more feathers, and it's enough on the one side, but of course you can add like more feathers, but I was not adding so many feathers, and gluing the embellishments to hide the gap. So I will use the rest of the keys, the rest of the gears, and gluing them like that. It's very easy, and you don't need to have like a perfect plan. And now I simply take the ribbon and glue them on the dream catcher. And yeah, you see me, I was cutting randomly and I'm gluing randomly, and the other part, it will fall down. So it's coming together really nicely, and I'm happy for it. We will see if it will be. I was dreaming about keys who let me open my dreams. Remember to choose the right key. So I glue everything together, and it will be nice to put if you want to have no window or on a wall. Remember, you can choose any embellishments, do it in any color you like. It's a matter of your personal choice. But I really like this color combination. And I will take some pictures for you so you can see some close-up. Thank you for watching these, guys. I'm really happy and hope you like my dream catcher. And please give a hashtag to Finnabair and to me if you like the project. I want to see if you get inspired of my project. Thank you so much, and hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye and take care.